YouTube channel. It's still your girl KAMSY. If today is your first time seeing my face, you're highly welcome. For my old subscribers, thank you all for your love and support. Please, if today is your first time, click on the red button that says subscribe and join the family. It's totally free of charge, okay? Guys, in today's video, I'll be talking about my first experience with miscarriage slash ectopic pregnancy. Yeah, miscarriage slash ectopic pregnancy. So if you don't know, I've been a TTC mom. I've been TTCing for, let's say, 5 years. But I took in, like, one of my videos, I think my honest TTC Q&A, when a question was asked if I've ever been pregnant, I said yes, that it won't go well. I'll talk about it whenever I feel like talking, when I think I've healed, because being a TTC mom and later becoming pregnant and losing the child is something else. So, but today I think I'm in a better place. I think I've moved on, because why I think I've moved on is because the date the incident happened just crossed and I didn't mourn it. So that is how I know that I've moved above it, or I've moved forward, or whatever. So I just want to talk about it and delete whatever thing I have about it, because I still have the test results, the hormone profiles I was running, the pictures of when I told my husband that I was pregnant. I still have everything on my phone. But I just want to talk about it, maybe show you guys 1 or 2 clips and just delete everything from my phone. Let it just go. Let me focus on the future, because I know that what awaits me in the future is better than whatever thing I thought or I think that I've lost. So what happened is that I got married in the year 2018. Yes, I was not with my husband for 10 months. So I came into Italy 2018, October ending, 28th of October. So that during that period, I don't really know if I should count it as we are trying or not, but for me, we were going to try. We weren't like say we are trying to have a baby, but let's calculate it, we were trying. So 2019, nothing happened. 2020, nothing happened. 2021, I took in, and when I took in, I didn't know I was pregnant. So what really happened is that why I was not sure I was pregnant, because my menstruation came, but it didn't come as normal. It didn't come as normal menstruation. It was just few drops for 3 days, and it was not spotting, small spotting. So in my mind, I was like, why is it that my menstruation did not rush out? So okay, let me just prepare normal pepper soup with ozoza and other, and black pepper, our native black pepper, and just take maybe anything that makes it not to come out, so it will come out well. But I've always made a prayer telling God that when I wasn't pregnant, I was praying to God that, God, you know, I've not been pregnant before. I don't even know what it looks like or what it feels like to be pregnant. I'm my kind of person. I'm this kind of person that plays anyhow. I'm not a very careful human being. I can play, I can just, if I want to sit down, I can just be sitting, like playing around like children. That is just my nature. So I always tell God to help me, that whenever I'm pregnant, He should help me, or let Him just give me a sign, so that I won't just lose it out of carelessness or not knowing or nonchalantness or whatever. So when I came back, I prepared that pepper soup, and that pepper soup was actually hungering me. You know, I wanted to eat that pepper soup. I was like, okay, let me use this opportunity to make pepper soup and drink. So I was preparing that pepper soup. I heard a tiny voice that told me, don't drink that pepper soup, do a pregnancy test. Don't drink that pepper soup, do a pregnancy test. In my mind, I was like, which one is do a pregnancy test? My menstruation just finished day before yesterday, and the spirit is telling me do a pregnancy test. Which one is do a pregnancy test? I continued with my pepper soup. You know, sometimes I would just test it, and I was like, even I'm still having droppings, small droppings. It was just light spotting. So that spirit kept telling me to do a pregnancy test. And a voice just spoke to me and said, remember your prayer, you always tell God to let you know when you're pregnant. So I was like, maybe let me just go. I always have pregnancy strip in my house. Even the one I had even expired. So I picked it up and did a pregnancy test. Immediately, it was in the evening. Immediately, I dipped the strip into the urine. Immediately, the urine went across the first line. It showed positive. Like the two lines were just bold, dark line. I was like, can this be true? Like I don't know if it was true or not true. So I called a friend of mine. I called her. She stays in London. I called her. I said, look at what is happening. I just did a pregnancy test, and there is two line. Is it because that the pregnancy strip has expired? She told me, okay, do you have ovulation strip? I said, yes, I have ovulation strip. She said, okay, try with ovulation strip, because in ovulation strip, it can equally detect pregnancy. So I rushed and tried it, because I still have the urine that I used for the first one. Immediately I rushed and did the same thing. It was still positive. The girl was like, Nene, you are pregnant. I was like, it was like there was a bomb in my head. My head was just like, bah, 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 like pregnant. Like, how is it? Is it what it looks like to be pregnant? You are pregnant, you don't even know you're pregnant. So I was like, is this thing true? I told her that I was preparing pepper soup. She told me that I shouldn't take that pepper soup. I was like, no, nah, I can't be pregnant. I just saw my menstruation, but it didn't come out well. She was then telling me that it might be bleeding. Then in my mind, I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. After everything, I didn't take that pepper soup again. I waited for my husband to come back. I told my husband, I told my husband, oh, baby, please, I want you to just urinate on something. My husband was like, urinate on something for what? I said, okay, that I want to test something, and I have to explain to him that I did a pregnancy test and it's showing negative and positive. So I want to know if it's because the strip has expired or what, because I was not understanding what was happening. So my husband, after everything, he agreed, and I used it, and his own showed negative. One line just appeared. In my mind, I was like, pregnant. But there was little fear, because I was having bleeding. I know about implantation bleeding, but I don't know if it was normal. My friend has told me that I just have to be careful. She didn't tell me. In her mind, she know that when someone is pregnant and bleeding, according to letters she told me, that something might be wrong. So I kept it to myself. Later on, we called the doctor and told the doctor that I was pregnant. Doctor requested I should go for HCG test. So I went for HCG test, right? Yes, HCG test to check for the pregnancy hormone. So when I got there, we did the test, and it showed 1,000 something, 1,400 and something. I can't remember. Before, I had all these figures in my head. That's why I said I think I've outgrown the pain and the pain in my heart. So we checked it and we called the doctor. The doctor said, yes, I'm pregnant. But the problem is now that this bleeding, this it's not like bleeding, it was just droppings. You get, not dropping itself, it was spotting, small spotting, but it has crossed 1 week. I was still having that small spotting. Then the doctor said, okay, I have to go back in the next 2 days to go and look out for the hormone if it's increasing. So I went back. That hormone from 1,400 and something, it went to 1,800 and something. Then doctor said that he has to be plain to us that the hormone is not rising as supposed. I was like, how? I started browsing about it, and I found out that the hormone has to be topping, like multiplying by 2. According to, maybe if it's 1,000 today, in the next 2 days it should be about 2,000 or 3,000 something. In my mind I was like, something is wrong, but I was positive. I knew that there is nothing God cannot do. I was just praying towards it. Then we went back another day, 2 days after. The hormone went to 2,000 something, and doctor kept saying that we will keep checking on it to know what is wrong. Then doctor then said, how many weeks am I? He asked me the last time I saw my menstruation. What will I say? My menstruation was that same month. Am I going to start calculating the one of last month or the same month I saw I took in? So he decided to check with the last one. So after the third one, we went for the fourth one, and doctor said, okay, I have to come for ecography to check the position of the baby, to check whatever, to know what's up. So we went to the hospital, and when I checked it, lo and behold, the doctor gave us the greatest shocking news of our life. Doctor said that he can't find the baby. There was no sac, nothing was found. Then he questioned ectopic pregnancy. So when he talked about ectopic pregnancy, I was like, is it possible to have ectopic pregnancy? Because a year before that year, that was 2020, I purposely on my own, I went for HSG test, that hysterosalpingography test, to check for my tube, to know if everything was okay, to know why I wasn't getting pregnant. Because people told me that someone advised me to go for it. She was like, since you've gone for all the tests and everything is okay but baby is not coming, why not try that? So I volunteered for that, even when my husband was like, I don't think you need that. So I told my husband that I have to go. Who knows where the problem, we have to just find out. Me, I was looking for a way. Let them just tell me that this is the reason why baby was not coming. So I went for that test that year, 2020, and they told me that my tubes were clear, that everything is perfect, I should just relax. So the next year I took in, I was not like, how can they be questioning ectopic pregnancy when my tubes are free? So doctor said, okay, that I have to go. That was on Friday. So I checked another test on Saturday. The hormone jumped from 2,000 something to 10,000 something, 10,816 or so. The hormone jumped to it. So I called the doctor and told the doctor that the hormone is now 10,000 something. The doctor was very happy. And meanwhile, before we left the hospital that day, the doctor told me that some people, their hormone will start from moving slowly to moving fast. So when I told him that my hormone is now, the level of the HCG hormone was now 10,000 something, he was like happy that maybe everything is going to be fast. Maybe the baby has moved, the baby have to navigate its way from the fallopian tube to the womb, that maybe the baby has moved fast. So after I went for that ecography test, and it was not on top of the stomach, it was inside the VJ. After that day, on a Saturday, I started having pains, and the doctor warned me. The doctor said that if I should sense any pain, that I should say it. I should tell my husband, so that my husband will bring me to the hospital. That ectopic pregnancy can be very, very dangerous. It's a life-threatening pregnancy. Me as a nurse, I already know. So when I started having that pain on Saturday, I didn't tell my husband. In my mind, I was like, if I'm absorbing this pain will make me save this baby and get what I'm looking for, definitely I have to endure this pain and save the life of my child. As a first-time mom, and someone has been trying to have a baby. So throughout that day, I endured that pain. I was in pain. When I say pain, I was in pain. I only called one of my big aunties that I met here. I told her, see, I'm having pains. And I told her little things about, say, I don't know if I didn't go straight to tell her I was pregnant or what. But I was like, see, I did pregnancy test and it was pregnancy, but I'm not sure, we have to still confirm. So she told me that if it's pregnancy, that means I can't take any other drug except from paracetamol. That's tapapina here. That even the thing is 1,000 milligrams, that I have to break it into two. That is taking 500. So I was still in that pain. I said not to even take anything. Let me just absorb the pain. That day, when my husband came to pick me up when I finished working, because I went to work with it, I was feeling that pain, like the pain was like hell. My husband saw me and according to my husband, my face was not looking fine. I wasn't looking like my real self. My husband asked me, "Nne, are you okay?" I said, "Yes, I'm fine." He asked me again, "Are you sure you are fine?" I said, "Yes, I'm fine." But I was dying in pain. I said, "Yes, I'm fine." Because I know if I should tell my husband that I wasn't okay, straight to the hospital. So that night, after everything I ate, took my bath, went to this bed. I couldn't sleep that night. I was just in pain. I was just turning. According to my husband, he was thinking that I was disturbed based on the whole situation of talking about the pregnancy and so on. So that day, what woke me up was pain. Pain woke me up on a Sunday morning. When I saw I couldn't endure the pain, I went to the parlor. I left the room, went to the parlor. I started praying, started crying, started calling on God. I was calling God to come that particular time and help me because I was just helpless. So while praying and crying to God, my husband heard my voice and he came out from the bedroom. And before he came out, I've gone to the bathroom to ease myself and blood was just dropping. Blood was just dropping. So when he came out, he was like, "Baby, what is it?" I then opened up and told him that I was in pain. He asked me, "Are you seeing blood?" I said, "Yes." "Are you still seeing blood?" I said, "Yes, that this time around is not like this light blood is now coming out so well." And mind you, that blood I was seeing, small tiny blood I was seeing, it was as if it has stopped, but not like when you wipe. The blood I was seeing is not like you put something and the thing will just soak. No, it's just that when you wipe, you will see some blood. So, but after I went for that echography, that something was inserted, I started seeing it more. Unlike something that you just see and see something small, it was not like 3 times of what I was getting then. So when I told my husband that it was not like gushing out as if the baby was now going out, my husband was like, "Immediately you have to go to the hospital." And he was not contemplating on should he call the ambulance or should he take me with his car. But the second thought, he said if we should call emergency now, that maybe the place they will take me, he doesn't want me to go to a hospital where there is much crowd, that he wants me to go to the other hospital. So he decided to take me. I dressed up, my husband rushed me to the hospital. As we were on our way going to the hospital, the pain intensified. I then told my husband, "Baby, please, if you would drive up to 200 or whatever, just drive. I'm dying in pains." My husband was like, "I told you to tell me whenever, even the doctor told you to tell me whenever you feel pain, and I begged you, but you were feeling pains and you couldn't even open up your mouth to tell me that. Open up and tell me that you were feeling pains." I was like, "Please, speed up, I'm dying, I'm in pain, my dear." That time, that period, it was hell. I was just in pain. It was as if something was going to blow inside of me. I was not seeing heaven and earth. So my husband rushed me to the hospital. Immediately we rushed there, my husband explained to them. They took me straight to the emergency place. The gynaes and all the rest of them, they rushed. And my husband was like, "Please, let the life of my wife be safe. For now, I don't know the baby and all the rest of me." I was hearing it, but then I don't even know where I was. Similarly, they rushed me. They took me to the bed, opened up to do this. I was like, "Please, doctor, wait. I used my last strength. I was like, "Doctor, please wait. You push to wait. And when they wait, they wanted to hear what I wanted. I told them that, "Please, save the life of this child. I want the life of this child to be saved." They now shouted at me, "Confidence, what is your problem?" in Italian language, that my life is more precious than the life of this child, that or nobody knows this child for now, that if I'm alive, I can have as many children as I want, but if I should die now, there is no way I will have baby in life. But if they should save my life and let this baby go, that I will have as many children as I want. Then I started crying again. Tears just filled my eye. I was like, so this baby that I've prayed for, just came to me, brought joy to my heart, brought joy to my family, and the baby was wanted to go just like that. And I was then imagining the kind of joy I saw in the face of my husband, the kind of joy I felt when we found out I was pregnant. Even I was praying, I told God, if not for my sake, for the sake of my husband, just for my husband to be happy. He has really tried for me in all this situation. He has been there for me. God, please save the life of this baby, you know. So, but when they told me that, it was as if all hope was lost. Tears started rushing, as in hot tears. This time around, it was hot tears, was just rushing down my eye. So immediately they just brought out something and told me, this is it. They don't have to put it inside a container, and they'll have to find out why what happened. God bless the soul of the baby. I don't know if it's a he or a she. Then it was too early, but for the first time, I felt that mother and child love. I felt that relationship. I felt like my child was telling me, then, Mommy, please save me, save my life. That was in my head. That was what I was feeling. So when the baby went off, I was thinking that the whole problem has ended. So they told me that I have to go home. That was after COVID 2021. That I have to go home. That is not advisable for me to be in the hospital. But I will come back the next day or 2 days after for them to check me up and all the rest of them. So I was having pains. I was having this anal pain that looks like, some people were thinking it was what is it called? Hemorrhoid. Hemorrhoid, but it wasn't hemorrhoid. There is this contraction of the anal wall that is so painful, and I used to feel that even while I was in school. So the whole pain I was having, contraction of the uterus to do whatever, and the whole thing joined together. So I was passing through the pains, and after that day, it was on a Sunday that I lost that baby. On Monday, then Tuesday, I have to go back for control because they have to check if my womb cleared, because when some people were saying, I'm talking about flushing of the womb and not the rest of them, they checked me, they said everything was okay, that I have to come back the next 2 days. That was on Tuesday. So when I finally we were going to the hospital for a checkup, but the pain I was having was so much that I couldn't even move my legs. So when we got to the hospital, they saw the way I was actually wheeled into the hospital. Immediately my husband dropped me. I couldn't walk. I was crying. The pain, I don't know where the pain was coming from, but I know that I was having that anal pain. It was just doing me, I don't know, I was so much in pain. To the extent that my husband was even crying that day. My husband was like, the baby has gone. Let the baby just go. Why not leave my wife for me? Let my wife be okay. So they wheeled me into the hospital, and that was how they said they have to admit me. For the very first time in my life, I was admitted in the hospital. They came back and told my husband that he wouldn't be going back with me, that they have to admit me, that the kind of pains I'm having, they have to admit me, that he has to go back and get my things. Oh my God. My husband was crying. It was like, the baby has left us. Let's the life of the wife be saved. So when they then told me that I was not going to go back, in my mind I was like, so after everything, the baby has left. For the first time, I'm sleeping in the hospital, and it's because of a miscarriage. I felt so bad. I cried and all the rest of them. So to cut the whole story short, that particular night I was admitted in that hospital, I don't know if it was a mistake. They kept me where people that has baby close in that ward. I was in that room. It was a ward, but I was alone in the room. So at night, in there, I don't know. It was close to where I was. I was hearing the cry of children, nga, and all the rest of them. I think for some minutes I ran mad. For some minutes, in the sense that the cry of those babies, I couldn't stand it. I don't know when I moved from my bed and started going to that ward. It was at the middle of the road that I got myself, and I was like, Confidence, what is wrong with you? Come on, will you go back? I didn't have to call myself back. I went back to that room, and I cried and cried and cried. I was like, I just lost my baby. It then dawned on me that I've lost my baby. I'm no longer pregnant. Then a morning to that, after that day, the next morning, that's why I said if it was a mistake or what. I don't know if someone saw me, or maybe they now found out that they dropped me where they kept me where they're not supposed to keep me. They took me out where I wouldn't hear any cry of a baby and all the rest of them. So I stayed there. My husband couldn't come in to see me because it was during that COVID period. My husband can only come, bring me something downstairs. The nurses will bring it up. So the only way I can see my husband was just video call. So I stayed in the hospital. Was it for 3 days or 4 days? I don't know. We are only talking on phone. So when everything finished, when they checked me, everything was okay. They said they have to check my womb for, sorry for the noise please, they said they have to check my womb for the next pregnancy if everything was fine. And after everything, they checked me, they said everything was okay, that I just have to go. Okay, I missed something. It was incomplete abortion. The baby did not go out through and they said it was incomplete abortion, but the thing is that my hormones, it was incomplete abortion. They removed it, but the hormones hanged, immediately got to 8,400. It was not going out again. That was why they said it was incomplete abortion. I don't know. So they checked me for some days and the hormone was not going down. It stopped at 8,400. From that 10,000 something, it got to 8,400 and did not reduce again. It was on that level. So they said that they have to give me injection, that once they give me that injection, if the hormone doesn't drop, that they have to operate me. Hey God, I was like, operate me when I don't even have the baby. How can you operate me? That was what I was saying in my mind. I can't go for surgery now when I don't have the baby. God, please. So I have to call my private doctor. I told her that, see what they said they have to do. She said yes, I should just sign. They brought form, I signed, consent form for them to, the consent form is just to give them go ahead order. I just signed it and they gave me the injection, and they said they'll come back the next day to check the hormone. I was just praying and telling God that the worst thing that can happen to me now is going for surgery. So all thanks to God that the next day they came, checked the hormone. It has gone down. They were like, okay, there's nothing like surgery. So I was now asking one of the gynae that my doctor talked about something, ectopic pregnancy, and one thing about them, they communicate with those people. So they communicated with the doctor. The doctor said that when he did the scan, he didn't see the baby, so that is why it was termed ectopic pregnancy. The baby was growing in the tube and not in the right place. So after everything, I was asking them what could be the reason why it was a ectopic pregnancy or whatever. They said, they asked me about if I've ever checked my tube. I said yes, I checked my tube last year. It was not even up to a year, and this thing happened. So they then told me that it could be, according to what they told me, then they said that it's just like the eyelashes. The tube is just like the eye, that something can just come and stay there and it will cause it. And sometimes it might be the slow movement of the hormone, or that the thing got trapped somewhere or whatever. I know that how the movement and all the rest of them, that is not really a big issue. So some of them were even telling me that they've experienced such thing, that even the guy was telling me that the wife gave birth to 2 children with 1 tube, that even if one of my tubes was blocked, that is not a problem. I can still give birth to as many children as I want with my second tube, with 1 tube. I was like, in my head, when I had 2 tubes, it was difficult to get pregnant. Talk more of when I have 1. I said, God forbid, I cannot have any problem. That I lived all this while with 2 tubes, and it was difficult to get pregnant. Talk more of 1. I know that there is nothing God cannot do, but I know that my tubes are okay. Because even before now, as if I was moved to go for that tube, HCG test to look out for my tube. So I was like, something cannot be wrong somewhere, because if there's anything wrong, they would have told me. But when I went for that test, they said everything was fine, the tubes were perfect, everything about me was okay. So what are they talking about? They were like, confidence, they understand my fear and my pain, that I should just be calm. So after everything, they discharged me. I came back. The pain did not totally go. But the pain was not doing it, to come and go. So I was a bit better, and they discharged me. I was now coming for visiting. So after everything, I went back to my private doctor. The doctor is good. The man is really good. The man said that maybe one of my tubes, that the pregnancy has obstructed one of my tubes, that when such things happen, that the possibility of one of my tube is locked. He asked me, because I have two private doctors, the one close to my house and the one hour away from my house, 1 hour 20 minutes away from my house. But the 1 hour 20 away from my house was the perfect one I met, the perfect doctor that I met for my kids. So he told me that, he asked me, do I remember the tube that the thing took in, where I took? I told him, I told him it was the right, I told him, oh my god, these bikes people. I told him that it was my right, why am I blabbing? I told me it was my right tube. So he said that 80% that the tube is blocked. Hey, 80% that my tube happens to be blocked. In my mind, I was like, how? So he told me that I will have to come back for, I don't know if I should share this video into two. I should just tell this story. Whoever that wants to watch should watch. Okay, let me conclude it. He told me 80% that my fallopian tube, the right one, was blocked, and he gave me time to come back. Within the period he gave me to come back, I slimmed down. People did not even recognize me. When they asked me, I'll tell them I was on diet. I was not on diet. It was just my pain. It was just the fear of the unknown. I was just thinking, when I had 2 tubes, it was difficult for me to conceive. Talk more of now that they're talking about blocked tube. And what could be the cause of the tube? If I have not checked this thing before, I would have said, okay, maybe I didn't know. But this one, I've checked it before, and I don't know what is the cause. Why did this pregnancy, the joy that came to me, why has it turned to be like pain in my body and my life and all the rest of them? Excuse me. Throughout that period, I was just in pain. Every day of my life, I wake up in pain, not knowing if I'm okay, not knowing if my tube were good or not. So that day, the day of the appointment came, and it happens to be on the day of my husband's birthday. I was like, why did this thing even fell on the day of my husband's birthday? And it was in the afternoon, I'd be in the evening. So I wished my husband a happy birthday, and after everything, my husband came back from work. We dressed up and went to work and went to the hospital. On my way to the hospital, I was just calm. I was not talking to my husband. I was just on my own. A song came into my heart, and I started singing. If this is the way you father me, I love the way you father me. If it is the way you father me, Lord, I love the way you father me. If this is the way you father me, Lord, I love the way you father me. As I was just singing that song, tears were rushing down my eye. God is faithful. Tears was just rushing down my eyes. I didn't say it. My husband just looked at me and looked. But one thing my husband doesn't like is me crying about anything TTC. Anything concerning child seeking or childbearing, he doesn't like to see me cry about it. So while singing that song, I was singing it in pain. But I was telling God that if this is the way you father me, then I love the way you father me. If this is the pain I have to go through after everything, then so be it. So when we got to the hospital, the doctor asked me how I was. My husband already told him that I wasn't fine. I climbed up, I told him, oh yeah, people should do it. Whatever the case may be, let it just be. I don't know. I've suffered for this. I've gone through pains. I don't know. Whatever the case will be, let it be. Let everything just be left. Let God be the last judge. When I went up, there was fear. The doctor tried to calm me down and all the rest of them. So after everything, he tried to calm me down. But at that point, nothing could calm me down. I just want to see the outcome. So after preparing me, things were inserted for them to do the HCG test again to know if my tubes were okay or not. Something happened. With a kind of fear in my body, when he fixed the symphysis pubis, opened everything to check on the cervix and all the rest of them so that he can clip it and insert something. With a kind of fear, what the doctor heard was boom. The whole thing that he started in my body went off. The doctor was like, confidence, calm down. Look at the kind of fear. Look at the kind of thing that happened. It was as a result of fear. Fear brought out everything he has faced. I was in pain. My husband came in and started with me, was trying to rub my hands, trying to calm me down. They went in there again to fix the whole thing. I was crying. That day my husband said, we are no longer trying for a baby. Anything about trying for a baby, no more. I turned again and told my husband, no, we'll try for another baby. We'll keep trying until I have my children. He was like, if this is the pain you have to be going through, then we'll have to forget about it. Or you just have to become, let's just check this. Please, choose. I said, we'll have our babies. We'll keep trying until we have our babies. So after everything, they did everything, clipped me, all of this. After everything, to cut the whole story short, the first place they went to was at the right place where the doctor said 80% it was blocked. Immediately they pumped it through. The thing flushed out. The doctor was like, oh, the right tube is open. The right tube is okay. I was like, thank you, Jesus. My husband was like, calm down. Let them check the next one. They checked the left one. The thing just flushed out. Everything was okay. Then my mind just came down. I started thanking God. I was thanking God that finally nothing was wrong with my tube. I would have died for nothing, thinking that what would have been my result? What would have been my outcome? What would have, I don't know. What would have. But God in his infinite mercy showed me mercy. Everything was good, and they told me everything about you is still fine. You are intact. You can have your babies. Your 2 tubes are okay. Your womb, your tubes, your ovaries, everything about you is fine. Just keep taking the medicine you are taking, and God will see it through one day. And that was how we came back. After everything, since that day, I had that I don't want to talk about the dates. I took in, confirmed it medically. I still have the dates upstairs. The day I lost the pregnancy, I have the dates of the upstairs. Then one thing why I have to say this, that I always celebrate, I always talk about that date that my baby was supposed to be born, the date I lost the baby, the day I confirmed from the hospital that I was pregnant. Each time that date comes, I always feel bad. When it's the day the baby was supposed to be born, I'll be like, my first child, today was supposed to be his or her birthday. When it's the month I lost the baby, I'll be like, my first child or my first pregnancy, today was the day I lost him or her. So I always feel bad. But this year, I was thinking I would do the same. But unfortunately or fortunately for me, I didn't feel that bad. Even the day I was supposed to talk about being the birthday, I don't know if I really thought about it. The day I lost the baby, I did not remember it. I did not remember that date. So that is how I knew that God has taken charge. So I just have to let it go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm happy that I did this.